Hey folks, so it is now August 1, and we're going to try and cut the silage. And I say try because I am in the midst of a real life experiment. Did I mention in one of the Thompson videos we have new pup? I think I did. And part of his adaptation to life at home, so he's a rescue greyhound again, and has spent his whole life in a kennel. And part of his adaptation to life at home is getting used to being on his own. So Mrs. D and the teenager are out. I'm watching him on puppy cam, but he's downstairs, I'm upstairs. And this is the second time we've tried this experiment. The first time it took him a while to settle. And he got very anxious. So we'll see how he does. I may end up stopping. But it's part of his process for learning to be in a house. So yeah, he was fun. Yeah, it was kind of funny. Well, I thought it was kind of amusing. So the bunker is saying we've got 7,000 litres in it, but I don't think we have, or 6,000 litres of silage. But I think it's actually lying. So is there a little bit there? Wonder if we can use the maneuverability of the Merlot to pick that up. Let's see if we can. Or we'll have an Austin Powers moment and get ourselves stuck. If you don't know that moment, you are too young, child. Or you didn't watch that. Some would say debatably pretty awful film. You know. And I'll let you have that. So we got 1,000 litres there. I think we're going to get the paintbrush out. Do the cows actually need feeding is a good question. They could do with a little bit of something. Because that 1,000 litres ain't going to last them while we are chopping corn. So I wonder how much hay we can get in there and keep it as a mix. Probably not a lot. Is there a little bit of silage on the end there? Let's not ask about. The bales were not fermented last time I looked. Are they fermented now? No. Long way from it. Hey, buddy. Hello. Good boy. Good boy. Let's do moving that bucket as well. We might rely on mega human strength. Do that. Lay down just out of camera view. Just really annoying. If you're curious, if you have pets, or yeah, if you have pets, I'm using an app called Barkio, which lets you use an old mobile phone as a pet camera, which is really cool. It is not a free app, but we had need of it previously anyway, so it's not flawless by any means. I wouldn't trust it leaving the house because it does disconnect, but for what I'm using it for, it's brilliant. So yeah, apart from being able to place it in spots where he can lay and I can't see him. But yeah, it's cool. You can get free trial of it, but I paid for it because I had expected to need it for longer for something else and didn't, but you can kind of work that out, I guess. We probably don't need to dwell on that huge amounts, do we? If I tab into you, then what we'll try and do is quickly tab back and haul the bale out before it is going to turn into not being silent or TMR. That'd work, won't it? That'll work. Yeah. What could possibly go wrong with that? And we're going to get maybe 6,000 litres. The better way to do it would have been to do maths, but hey, I don't feel like doing math today. There was definitely an S on the end of that, by the way. It was definitely maths. There we go. So let's pull that out now. Hey, buddy. You should probably be not like crawling under the tractor. That feels a little bit dangerous. Especially with me driving. Yeah. Thankfully, he's a very robust pup. Very robust. So no harm will come to him. Right. Yeah. I'm not sure what connector this has got on it. It's a front loader tool, but anyway. Yeah, I'm just going to drag this out of the way. It's only 1.6 tons, so, you know. There we go. Yep. Kind of glad that he's actually in shot rather than having done what's been the case most of the time and been off like climbing on the roofs and stuff. That was kind of annoying. Yeah. Anyway, this gets the coos some food. Have any carbs appeared in the other one yet? I think we are going to have a period where we're going to have to resort back to just feeding them hay. And he's okay. Like he was trying to eat something in the camera view. He has eaten a pair of headphones so far. A pair of my headphones. Thankfully, they were cheap ones. Yeah. I keep a pair of cheap headphones downstairs for editing videos with my laptop, and he ate them. Well, no, he didn't eat them. He ripped them apart. He didn't actually consume any of the components of the headphones. He just turned them into 6 or 7 smaller parts, which was annoying. But they weren't expensive, so you know. Right. Save the game because we're going to do landscaping. And he's laid down where I can see him, which is good. And then there we go. And let's get the old paintbrush out. Asphalt. That way as well. Hopefully that's done the job. Have a look. Bill thinks there is 3,000 litres of silage in there. Okay. Gonna need a bigger brush, folks. Not that big though. Let's just be fairly aggressive with that. There we go. Awesome. Perfect. So we need a forage harvester and a trailer. So forage harvesters will do the job probably. The difference. age, mass. You have more power. You can run a 6 meter. You can run a 6 meter. Or we've got the Rotzel Mash, which can also run a 6 meter. Let's go for that one. It's got a bit more grunt. Silage additive tank, yes. Custom pipe, yes. Lease, yes. Okay. Combinations. We're going to go for the bigger one. Lease, yes. Okay. We might have... Yeah, we've got some silage active back there. And we can actually turn that into a silage box, can't we? So we don't need a trailer. Haha. Because that was the problem I had previously, that this was in a silage configuration. And it's finally going to come into its own. If you were typing that, thank you for reminding me. I heard you. Although you guys are generally a little bit less aggressive with the comments than the Timberborn players. Commenters. Or players, other players as well. Yeah, probably. Although not all of them are, interestingly. Although I was watching videos on that before I bought the game, so you know. And I think it's actually not uncommon for people to watch videos of games they don't play, because I've done that before. So customize, extension, customize. Yes. Good job. Good job, me. Right. I'm not going to massively fill this with silage additive. And I don't know how far we're going to get through chopping the corn in the video for a couple of reasons. One, I don't want this to be a monstrously long video. I might time-lapse some of it at the end. There's two reasons for that, because there's quite often two reasons for things, aren't there, folks? One, chopping corn is quite a slow job. Two, you guys possibly know I use two music providers, and I'm looking to cancel one of them, and I have some credits to use up, and I would like to use them up before I cancel it. So yeah, I'm looking to cut costs going into the new year, because the channel is not making as much money as it was, and so it seems silly to be paying out, like, I think I pay like 40 quid a month for music, which is kind of nuts. So yeah, right, let's do some park vehicling. Let's get you out of the way. And it occurred to me this morning that on the music front, because I used one of them yesterday, and I think someone got an early preview of, a couple of people got an early preview of the video that had it in, because you have to set it to, you have to set the video to unlisted so that the music company can clear the copyright on it. But that means it shows up in playlists early, sometimes. Wow, performant. And so people can watch it before you intend sometimes, which is a bit annoying. And I think someone commented something about music, and it got me thinking about what I'm paying for versus what I'm using. I'm not using that service very often. It costs quite a lot of money. So we had an 18 meters, that should be enough, shouldn't it? So yeah, it felt like maybe I should get rid of it. because I'm not getting good value for money out of it, I'm kind of forcing myself to use it rather than currently thinking, oh yeah, I really need to, I really, really want to use it. When I first got, so it's linked. You guys may or may not know that service. It's on that Caltech uses as well for the. It's the one that has the. Wow, you really are performant, aren't you? I didn't upgrade the engine, did I? No. There's your problem, folks. I think I need to spend the money again and release that. Bear with me a momento, please. Right, I've spoken to the garage. They've taken a bit of sympathy on me, and hopefully they've called through an engine management tune, because this is a super modern vehicle, so they've been able to do that. Yeah, that's how this stuff works, isn't it? So I think they've called through a bit of an engine management upgrade for us, just because we're a really good company and we put a lot of business through. In fact, we seem to be the only farm in the local area that's putting business through them at the moment. So because they value that, they've helped us out. Hashtag roleplay. Yeah. Or because I'm a dumbass, I went into the XML and changed the motor unit type to 3, not 1. But let's go with option A. Yeah, let's go with option A. Got that lovely field full of weeds. You mechanical weeder to the rescue, methinks. Yes. Actually, someone made a really good comment on my precision farming video about weeds. Which I don't know if I mentioned it in the video, but I really liked it, which was basically, if you're playing with precision farming, a really good rule of thumb, and that's thumb, not thumb, is if the bulk of your income, and I think I did say it in the video, I have a record, if the bulk of your income comes from the things you grow, then stick with mechanical weeding to maximize the yield that you get. And then if the bulk of your income comes from things where you will gain more from the environmental bonus, so maybe if you're producing an inordinate amount of milk, or if you have a lot of productions and you're producing a lot of production output, then use that, because that will get you a lot more. And yeah, so actually what really confuses me is when people are going back and people are still playing FS22 and they comment on those videos, because it's like, you're commenting on an FS22 video that some random mod that I did a review of doesn't work now, and it's like, I don't know, I haven't looked at FS22 in over a year. If the mod doesn't work, maybe try talking to the mod creator, not a random mod reviewer. I don't know. I guess videos are a way of trying to do that, but I always find that a little bit weird. I guess people are commenting on the video because maybe they'll hope someone else playing with the mod has the problem, and on a relevant mod, on a recent mod video, I can see that working, but on a video that's ancient, maybe not so much. I don't know how many people are still playing FS22. I guess if a bunch of people that have still got old gen consoles or older PCs that struggle to run the new game, might be, but yeah. I don't know, or people that just really love some of the older mods, I guess. I've very occasionally considered going back to 19 for seasons. because I really, really liked Seasons. Did I mention that? I don't think I've ever mentioned that I really, really liked Seasons, and that I feel Giants really screwed it up when they went to the new version of Seasons, their version of Seasons. I don't think I ever mentioned that. I tend to hold back my opinions on what Giants have done to the game, and the things where they take what modders do and implement it in the game. That's an interesting point. So quite often, large creators or modders will ask people, I think usually to kind of have a stab at Giants, what people want Giants to do in the game and that kind of thing. And there's usually there's two common trends. One is mud, usually from our friends from the land of stars and stripes and guns. I don't know why they're obsessed with having mud in the game, because if I was playing this and vehicles were getting stuck in the mud and I was trying to do this job, I would literally just walk away from it and not touch it again. I do not want to be trying to do a job and have to spend an hour unsticking a vehicle with a tow chain. It's not why I play this game. If you want to do that, go play one of the spin tires inspired games. And if you don't know what spin tires is, then go Google it. And you'll learn that it was the predecessor to Mud Runner and Snow Runner and all those games. Anyway, yeah. Yes, it might be a part of farming. Yes, it might make it more of a simulation. But there are so many other things that would make it more of a simulation than spending an hour stuck in the mud every time you want to try and do a job. Just my opinion. But the other thing that always comes up is that Giants should implement the stuff that modders do as base game functionality. And people seem to forget how bad a job Giants did of implementing seasons. Just look at what we have with seasons now. This is Giants implementing what modders do. And it's crap. So no, we don't want Giants to implement all of the other bits and pieces that people mention of this should be a base game feature. Let modders do what modders do. I get if you're a console player, it's probably really frustrating that you don't get those things normally. Maybe what we need is for Giants to collaborate more with some of the good script modders, like they did with Realismus modeling, and help bring certain key script mods to console. Maybe that's the thing that's needed, so that, things like Maze Plus maybe could come to console, or I don't know, insert other big script mod that people really like. Because different people play differently. But yeah, maybe that's what they need to do. Maybe they need to collaborate more with modders other than just testing. And help enable that. Maybe that would be the thing that would be better. And I think, yeah, there's obviously a limit to what Giants can do and working with modders, and they couldn't work with every single modder, and that would be a problem because certain modders would think that they should work with them over other modder, and yeah, that would maybe cause issues. And it's like, well, why have they picked that modder and not me? Because, I'm great, I think my mod is the best mod, or there would be certain elements of the community that would think, well, why have they picked that mod and why haven't they picked implementing this thing that I really love and I think should be in the game on console? And I'm sure it would be regional based because largely, and I'm generalizing, and I know it's not always the case because I know there are folks from the land of stars, stripes, and guns that really like Maze Plus. But generally, there is a lot of regionality about how people like to play the game, because largely that's based on how things are done where they are and how they see things, and how, you know, my great-great-granddaddy's grandma's grandpa's granddad used to do farming, and all that kind of stuff, you know. And again, I'm not knocking it, I'm just really making noise while I play the game, because if I don't make noise while I play the game, it's a very different video. It's just you watching a guy who's pretty average at playing video games play a video game. Now, there are people that make that kind of video, but not what you're here for, is it? You're here to listen to me talk some stuff and ramble. So if I don't ramble, it's not the video you're here for. Trying to give you the video you're here for, which is me rambling and sharing my opinion about stuff. And again, some people don't get that when I make a video. They think it's me spouting the freaking gospel. It's not. Well, it is. It's the gospel according to Disturbed, which is very different to, you know, the utter truth. It's my opinion, and I've used this recently in a video. Opinions are like arseholes. We've all got one. Some of you choose to look at them on the internet. Some of you choose to pay people extra to look at them early or get exclusive content about them. Yeah, perverts. But yeah, some people shouldn't show them off in public. You know who you are. But yeah, you know. I'm liking this. I wish the capacity was bigger, but I am liking this truck for doing chat or doing silage. It's working well. It's working well. I'm not sure if it's showing mass, although it's only 24,000 litres of chaff, I guess, which is not overly heavy. So, yeah. So far, so good. Forming well. I think it might have a cheaty engine in it. I don't remember. I mean, if it's not showing mass, that could be why it's not compacting very well. But what we are going to do is save the game, fix the game, save the game. I know. That's it. I took a lot of time talking rubbish playing video games. That's a thing, hey? That's a thing. Really looking forward to seeing. I think we're just going to get calves based on the heifers in that pen, but I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what we get. We don't get any mix breeding, but I'm wondering if we're going to get some beef calves off of that. I know one of you has tested it, but I can't remember what the outcome is. So yeah, that'll be cool. I don't know if we're going to keep the calves beyond getting them to a selling weight. Probably not, because I don't think we'll be able to feed lots of calves. I think that is going to be the reality of things, is we probably aren't going to be able to feed lots of calves. We will just need to move them on. Did I a mod that I've not, I just realised because I've got it installed, a mod I've not used a lot of is Follow Me in. I don't know if I used it even a lot in FS22. It was a staple of my FS19 gameplay. It really was. It was. Oakfield Farm. I always get the oaks confused, apart from Lone Oak. I guess because I never replayed it. But Oakfield Farm was a big part of how we did things. And we did some fun things with it on there. But yeah, I don't think I've used it at all in FS25. I don't think I've used it at all. So yeah. Bit of in-cab Or no, we're not going to do any in cab because although I've upgraded the engine, it's still only running at 3 miles an hour. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Kind of annoying because I'd really like it to be going a bit quicker. Still got silage additive, which is good because we are going to need more silage this year because we did get through basically all of it. So it's kind of good that we've got the bales actually because we're going to need. We also are going to need some more stuff to mix in. So I guess we're going to get the, stop guessing. We are going to get the sugar beet field, so that will help. Because we'll get a full field of sugar beets off, and we should keep that for putting in the feed, really. I did say I was thinking about getting a BGA, but we have a BGA on Kinlac, so maybe we don't need one on here. Now we're doing 5 miles an hour uphill. Well, I guess we weren't harvesting. Okay, am I running a mod which affects speed, or does this mod get affected by yield? Something is affecting the speed once it's getting into the crop. And it's suggesting to me that the yield coming off of this is good. I've gone too fast, but let's get into the precision farming menu. The yield coming off of it is good, so maybe that's it. What mod am I running which affects yield or harvest speed based off of yield, folks? I'm not sure, but anyway, something is. Something definitely is. Unless it's the mod itself, because I've not used this mod before. Go forwards and jump in the harvester. And nothing obvious on there, but we are getting a good yield. So anyway, let's just keep plodding on. Just about full, which is good. There we go. I spin round. Nope. Turning circle of a giant Russian truck. Which is funny because it's a giant Russian truck. We're on to the third headland at least, which is good. Yeah, I'm confused which mod is affecting the harvester speed of the forage harvester. Suggestions on a postcard, folks. Yeah, there's a random one to talk about. I think some of you watch LTT, or Linus Tech Tips, or at least used to. They were running the good old-fashioned giveaway, which was quite a lot of giveaway things. It was, if you buy a certain amount of product from their store, you get entered into a prize draw. But also, if you send in like most countries have a requirement that you have to be able to win without purchase. And the prizes were quite good. The prizes were worth the effort if you're a tech nerd. And I think it was $100 spend on their store, or a no purchase entry. And the no purchase entry was send in a postcard or whatever kind of entry. And they had thousands and thousands of no purchase entries. Way more than they expected. Because basically they screwed up setting up the competition. Now, apparently the way you normally would set up one of these competitions is, if you purchase something, you get, like, say if you do $100 purchase, you get 100 entries into the draw, and then if you post in, you get a single entry, so your odds of winning are negligible. Because then it's not really worth it, because you've got a much lower chance of winning. It didn't do that. If your chance of winning for a, however much it costs to send a postcard essentially to Canada, is the same as if you spent $100 on their store. So there were a lot of postal entries. I think it took at least one employee from their team a significant amount of time to deal with, which is kind of amusing. It's kind of amusing, but yeah, so that's why the send me a postcard thing just kind of nudged my brain on that one. And did make me think I really should have entered, because yeah, one of the prizes was really cool. It was the ROG Ally Xbox Ally Xbox X handheld thing, which looks really cool, but it's very expensive. And they were giving away a few of them, so. And it essentially was a giveaway, because all you had to do was send in a postcard. Or self-addressed, no, it wasn't even, was it a self-addressed envelope? I can't remember. Something like that. I think it was a self-addressed envelope kind of job. Like when we were kids. Well, some of us were kids. But yeah, it was, anyway. Anywho, how are we doing? We are doing okay. Kind of debating on how to progress this video, because I've been going for a little while. I am conscious that, when I say pup, he's 4 years old, is doing very well downstairs. I might do a few more loads, because he's very chilled out on the sofa. And then we will time-lapse the end of it. Because I want to clear out one of these music subscriptions. Because I'm really not getting good value out of it. Some of it, there's something that Kartek and I occasionally chat about, and I send him utterly ridiculous suggestions when he asks. So if you watch Kartek's videos and some of the music suggestions are not to your taste, completely blame him, not me. But my music tastes, don't match up with what they recommend on their, like, we recommend you use these songs. And I'm like, no, thank you. But equally, a lot of the music that I like listening to currently just isn't available on there, because a lot of it's independent stuff. And so they're not licensed through that platform. But equally, a lot of the stuff that I like, I think most people probably, some of you might like it, but music's a very personal thing. And I find it probably better to put in something kind of bland and generic that's going to be less offensive. In some of the Timberborn videos, I put in some songs that I really like, and some people really like them, and some people are like, please don't do that. And so yeah, it's like I show a bit of my personality, and no one likes that. They cost quite a lot of money relatively for what a video makes. So as soon as I put one of those in, the video is at a loss. So yeah, so given that YouTube is significantly less financially lucrative this year, which I think is largely down to me not making farm sim tutorials, which is my choice, then getting rid of a music service which costs a lot of money, which I really don't use very often, seems to make a lot of sense. But equally, I have credits for 2 songs to use up, so you guys are going to get to enjoy a song a bit later. I have no idea what it's going to be. It depends on several factors. One of them is how long the time lapse is. The other is what I can find that I enjoy and I think you will enjoy or not hate. That's kind of, not hate is kind of the threshold. So the two thresholds are actually something that I don't hate. No, something that I can tolerate and you won't hate. Or the other way around. Something that I don't hate and you will tolerate. Somewhere in that Venn diagram of music. I certainly won't put in a song that I know I hate. Which is why most of the recommendations that the website makes just get ignored. They did have some good ones last night, actually. They had a bit of Offspring as a recommendation. Now, that's a band that's been around since I was a teenager, which those of you that know will know is a very long time ago. But those guys are still out touring live and stuff. They're old. You know, they've not got a grey beard like some of you have, but they're old. But they're still out touring and making music. And yeah, I mean, I was in my teens when they were releasing music, so they must be pretty old. They're not like Metallica old, I don't think, but yeah. Maybe we'll throw some Offspring or The Offspring in later. Here's a story for you. I was in sixth form college. I was doing my A-levels. I was really into The Offspring. And I brought a T-shirt of theirs from a music shop back when. Actually, music shops are a thing again now. But it was packaged. I could only see the front of it. And it's a cool T-shirt. On the back of it, it had some song lyrics of theirs. And how many of you know their songs? On the back, it said, stupid, dumb, yes. If you know their songs, you can complete the rest of the lyric. The rest of the lyrics meant I couldn't wear that T-shirt too many places without covering it up. I wore it to a bar or to a pub when I was at uni. And the bar manager asked me to cover it up because I was offending people, apparently, which I took offence to because I was in a pub. I think if you're in a pub, not so much of a problem. But yeah, there weren't many places I could wear that as and not think, who am I offending? But yeah. Oh well. Good times. Good times. That'll give you an idea of how long they've been making music, because that was a long time ago, folks. That was a long time ago. I think, and Coursplay's telling me it's got 12 minutes left. I don't believe that. But I think this load is a good point. I've been recording solidly for half an hour. This load is a good point for us to switch over to a bit of a time lapse to finish up the job. If you don't want to watch the time lapse, that's fine. You can check back in the next video. You know, that's fine. The video quality might drop because I'm going to finish this off on my laptop. So I can go sit with the pup. And hope that I can get my laptop to run Farm Sim. But yeah, we'll get this finished, and then I'll go pick a song for you guys to enjoy. So even if you do watch the time lapse, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have enjoyed the video. If you did, you know you are legally obliged to click the like button and leave a comment, not putting in the rest of those song lyrics, because it will get blocked by YouTube, unless you put a heavily censored version of those song lyrics in. Maybe you could just put the first letter of each word in. Stupid, dumb, something, probably somethings, at the end. And yeah, we'll get this finished, and I'll see you all in the next one.
But someone near you rides the weather, and the tears he cried will ring on walls as wide as lover's eyes. In the temple of love, shine like thunder. In the temple of love, cry black